Introducing Instagram Teen Accounts, a new way to keep your teen safer as they grow, like making sure they always have their seatbelt on.
All right, buckle up. Good job.
New Instagram Teen Accounts, automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Hello again, GLers. Reavers here in the GL Podcast Studios with another edition of the Best of Garage Logic. And by the way, Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you this episode of Garage Logic. And I'm going to play an interview that I know I'm going to get a call about later today from the particular host of this show. But I thought it was interesting to play back this interview today, since this was conducted by Joe a number of years ago. But take a listen, the best of Garage Logic, and you will get why. Oh, before I forget to mention, by the way, the Town Council Target Field Takeover is going to take place a couple of Fridays from now. Friday, July 21st, as Minnesota takes on Chicago. You can watch the ball game amongst GLers and the entire Garage Logic crew. You must be a Town Council member. To reserve your 2 free tickets, just go to garagelogic.com. Tickets are on a first-come, first-served basis, and they will go quickly. So find out more. Become a Town Council member for just $10 a month and $100 a year. You'll get unlimited access to all sorts of things related to the show, both video-wise and streaming-wise. It's fantastic. So go to garagelogic.com and learn more. And I hope you enjoy the best of Garage Logic.
This was an interview with Hilary Clinton back in 1996, and the more we listen to it, the more we realize that Hillary must have been briefed, if you know what I mean. Mrs. Hilary Clinton, are you there?
I certainly am. How are you doing?
Very good. My name is Joe Souchere, and you can call me Joe.
Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that.
What may I call you?
Oh, you can call me whatever you want to call me.
Can I call you Hilary?
Yes, you can.
Well, thank you. I assume that we weren't told a great deal about your visit with us, but obviously you would wish to promote your book, It Takes a Village and Other Lessons Children Teach Us. It's selling well, been on the New York Times bestseller list. And you are calling what, a variety of radio stations today?
I am, and I'm talking not only about the book itself, but about a lot of the programs and ideas that I've seen around the country, recently up in Hartman, Minnesota, and in the Twin Cities, about what people are trying to do to improve life for kids.
Are you in the White House now?
I am in the White House, yes, indeed.
This radio show that you're now with, we have created kind of a mythical town called Garage Logic, a made-up town in Minnesota in which people generally do their best to solve the problems of their lives in their garages. And
it's cold in the garage in the winter. Do you keep those garages heated?
We have heated garages in Garage Logic, Hillary. Now, I was wondering if I might ask you some questions about the White House and your life there with your family that may pertain to Garage Logic. Would that be all right with you?
Sure.
Does the White House even have a garage? Now, I mean the kind with the couch in it and an icebox where Bill might have a few Heinekens and a workbench and a radio.
You know, that is one of the real lacks that the White House has to confess up to.
You have to have a garage.
We don't have a garage on the grounds. Can you believe it?
I can't, and I could not be president until you solved that.
Cars are left outside. Now, there's a garage, but it's some distance from the White House where cars are kept, overnight. But, I'm embarrassed to tell you this, Joe, because I was hoping nobody would find out.
Who runs the TV remote control when you guys are in your private quarters? Who gets to have the clicker?
Now, you know the answer to that. This is a sex-linked trait. The research is conclusive. There is something about the male human being and remote control that I guess is, just bred in the genes.
It is. It's a man's device.
It is a man's device. Now, being in the White House, there are a lot of TVs. So I have, on my side of the bed, the remote control device from a TV in another room. So on occasion, we have what you might call remote control wars right there in the master bedroom of the White House. But again, I don't want you to tell anybody.
No, I would not, and of course no one is listening.
Good. Thank goodness.
What is Saturday morning like in the White House? And let me briefly tell you why I asked that. I once read a story. I can't remember the fellow's name. I want to say Angus Phillips, maybe the outdoors writer for the Washington Post. Apparently, President Bush invited him over to go trout fishing. I don't know if you ever read this story.
No, I missed it.
And this fellow, Angus, arrived at the White House on a Saturday morning and for some reason was let in. And there he is in his bush jacket, and he's got his fishing lures on. And he literally wandered into the private quarters, and there was George propped up in bed reading the paper and said, "Hi, Angus. Geez, you're here a little early. Why don't you go down to the kitchen and have a cup of coffee, and I'll be down in a moment." And I thought that provided a delightful glimpse into the way they lived. Now,
I find that so hard to believe.
Honest to God, I read it in Sports Illustrated. Well, people wanted to hear Hilary laugh.
I mean, airplanes crash into the building. Why not Angus? I mean, you may be right. I had never heard that one.
Well, has that ever happened to you and your husband?
The only time anything like that happened was the very first morning we were in the White House after the inaugural. And, we stayed up pretty late. It was kind of a long night.
Well, if you're not going to party that night, you're not going to party.
You got it. I mean, you'd have to just kind of throw it in if you weren't going to have fun then. So we had a great time, but we didn't get home till like 3 or 3:30. And about 5:30 in the morning, the door did open, and there was one of the people who works in the White House with a tray of coffee. Well, Bill and I sat bolt up. My gosh, we didn't know what was happening. What are you doing? Who are you? Well, apparently the Bushes used to get woken up every morning with coffee in bed, or at least that's what I was told.
Or by a sports writer.
Or by a sports writer who wants to go trout fishing. That has not happened to us, but hey, so many weird things have happened. That could be next on the list.
You really seem to have been able to keep your daughter out of the spotlight. I'm your age. I remember hearing far more about Amy Carter or the Ford kids or even the Nixon daughters. You do anything special to safeguard Chelsea's privacy?
Oh, we just try to make sure that she has it. I mean, that's the thing that I was worried about. That I didn't think it would be fair or good for her to be treated, like a piece of public property simply because her dad was in the White House. So we've taken a pretty hard line about keeping her out of the public eye, and I think it's better for kids. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it strikes me that kids, particularly teenagers, they need their own space. And that, then there are things that she does with us that we are glad she does. But on a regular basis, she is left to lead her own life.
Does she ever blast her CD player in the private quarters?
Yeah, well, all three of us do that from time to time.
Do you know any of her favorite groups?
Well, this is a long discussion that we've had. In fact, she asked that both of us watch the Grammy Awards so at least we know the names of some of the groups that she likes. But, the only one that I can name right now is Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah, and they were Grammy winners.
Yep, they were.
Does Bill ever have musicians over?
He's only been able to do that a couple of times, and I really hoped he could do it more. So I took a room that we had up on the third floor of the White House and kind of turned it into a music room for him so that he's got all of his saxophones and his sheet music and his stereo there, and I hope he gets a chance to do that more often.
How long do we have you with us? How long before you must go to your next appointment?
I think I don't know what time it is now, but I think that I'm supposed to be somewhere about 3:30. So what time is it now?
Well, it's only 2:30, so we have you for another hour.
Oh, well, 3:30.
No,
But I'd be glad to come back to Garage Logic someday. Because, hey, I grew up in the Midwest. I mean, this is my kind of place.
Now
I got to tell you, one of my late father's favorite things, which maybe the people in Garage Logic can help explain to me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what my father used to say.
Mm-hmm.
Everything born in a garage is not a car. Any idea what that means?
I can easily explain that for you. Your father obviously was now, he was over 50 at the age of his death, of course.
Oh, yes.
So he was a great living American if he was over the age of 50 and he logged time in the garage. And I presume what he meant was that that's where he did his great thinking.
All the good ideas that were born there, you think?
Where he did his great thinking.
Yeah.
Now, do you... you weren't raised in a village, Hilary. You were raised in a rather conventional American family, as you've written. Do you want to briefly explain the village concept to me?
Well, but it was a village as I think about it, because we were raised in a neighborhood where people looked out for each other, where we were just as likely to be reprimanded or called to the carpet by the parents of our friends as we were by our own parents, where we had schools that welcomed parental involvement and lots of community support, where we had recreational facilities and adults who looked out for us as we played and just grew up. It was a place where our parents had the primary responsibility, of course, for us, but a lot of other adults were willing to accept that responsibility as well.
I have two really quick questions for you, and then if you must go, you must. And my wife would be angry if I did not ask you this. She's literally curious. Can you get out and shop for your own stuff like mascara or whatever?
Not easily. And I know this may sound odd, because when I used to be able to do it before my husband was president, sometimes I wished I didn't have to, but I really miss it. I miss, just pushing a cart up and down the aisles. I miss seeing what's on the shelves, finding out what's happening. I occasionally am able to sort of sneak off and get into a store or go for a long walk, but I sure don't get to do it very often.
And a question that I must ask you for my own satisfaction, and I mean it sincerely. We've asked a number of politicians in Minnesota, for example, this question. Can you name a line from the film Caddyshack?
No, I can't, except probably 4.
Well, 4 would not get you off the hook.
Is that what's playing at the theater in Garage?
No, but I'll bet you if you go to Bill and say, Bill, name me a line from Caddyshack, he'll give you a couple.
He's a golf fanatic.
Well, he is.
I mean, he would, I bet he could. Probably quote whole pieces of dialogue.
Your book is It Takes a Village and Other Lessons Children Teach Us. I thank you, ma'am, for taking this time to be with us in Garage Logic.
I've enjoyed being with you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Lots of swimming season left, GLers. I hope you've reached out to Aquaside, a White Bear Lake company. Their products have been keeping beaches and swimming areas free of weeds and crud for more than 60 years, with a great line of weed control products that work quickly and they're easy to use. I've used them. That's how easy they are to use. All you have to do is call Aquaside, describe what you're looking at, and they'll get you the right products to eliminate those aquatic plants that are driving the kids crazy. Call Aquaside at 1-800-328-9350 and tell them what you're looking at. Tell them what you think the problem is. They'll go through it with you, and they'll make sure you get the right products so your beach will look great all summer long, and there's a lot of summer left. 1-800-328-9350 or go to aquaside.com.
With the return of humane temperatures also comes the return of windshields covered in smashed bugs. Thankfully, Seafoam has us covered with their amazing Bugs Be Gone solution. Bugs Be Gone easily solves the frustration of scrubbing bugs off your windshield and front bumper. You spray it on, it breaks up the sticky bond of bugs and crud with the vehicle surface, so you can simply wash it away with water. And yes, Bugs Be Gone is safe for all finishes. It's a non-toxic formula and water-based and leaves no film or haze when it dries. Just a clean windshield with nary a bug in sight. And we can use Bugs Be Gone on all sorts of stubborn organic crud. So a lot of people try it on a car and then they find all sorts of other uses for it, like campers, golf equipment, fishing gear, anything organic. Just spray it on and wash it off, and the bugs be gone. Just another wonderful product for our vehicles from our friends at Seafoam.
If you're getting good and tired like I did of the big banks, well, then I'm here to let you know about North American Banking Company. It's Reavers, by the way, here in the GL Podcast Studios. I made the switch. You should, too. North American Banking Company offers the same online and mobile banking options as the other banks, but with the unparalleled service of a community bank. And they're also locally owned and operated, which means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities, not shipped out of state. And this helps business owners solve problems and expand their business with confidence. North American Banking Company deals with numbers every day, but you are never one of them. And their experienced bankers are ready to help business owners navigate all of the challenges and obstacles that come with owning a business. When North American Banking Company first opened back in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you. While a lot has changed since 1998, this commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities, well, that has not. So here's the deal. Go online. North American Banking Company's website is nabankco.com. nabankco.com. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Occasionally, and it's funny that it always works out to be the 4 p.m. hour or the cocktail hour in Washington, D.C., we are joined by our president, Mr. Clinton. Here he is aboard Air Force One. President Clinton?
Yes, hello, Joe.
Hi, Bill. May I call you Bill?
Yeah, I'm actually having a good time this afternoon. You kind of caught me, and it's 5:08 here. It's kind of like happy hour. Excuse me for.
Well, we called because my associate and I had both seen the.
Terry, look at the head on that bear.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, Joe. Air Force One.
My associate and I had seen Air Force One, and understand, sir, that you show the movie frequently to your guests at the White House. May, in fact, have shown it aboard Air Force One.
Yes, indeed, we do indeed show it. I'm a little
happier.
Well,
it's a happy.
The president is allowed to go ahead and have a couple of beers every once in a while, and I've just decided that I would go ahead today. I know it's Monday, but I'm taking a day off.
Yeah.
I've decided that I'll take a day off.
Well, and
I do, so I'm a little off right now. But
yeah.
I will. I have shown this probably about, 374, 375 times.
Yeah. Tell that person who just wandered in your office to get the hell out of there till we're done talking to you.
Yes, Mr. McCurry. You'll have to leave until I'm done here, okay? He said he'll take off.
Well, it tends to throw you off your game,
It does throw me off my game a little bit, and it sometimes, Mike, the hell is that?
No, I don't know.
All right, take care of that, will you? It's kind of crazy. It's almost dinner time, and I get very hungry.
Well, I just again, I don't want to keep you, but this movie does portray the president in a way of such heroic proportions, and I'm just wondering if you identify with it personally.
I don't really. Sometimes I wouldn't say. I think of myself as Harrison Ford.
Right.
But I would definitely think that we are kind of along the same lines. There's some characteristics in this Harrison Ford movie. That are the same as I actually am every day.
Right.
I would say yes.
So,
to an extent. I mean, I wouldn't have done some of the things that Harrison Ford did in this movie.
Yeah. Would you have gotten into the pod?
Well, that actually would take some thinking. Let me think here for a little bit. I am thirsty. Hang on a second. Take a little sip.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the movie. Where was I?
I was asking you.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
In the movie, there is apparently a pod that the president can get in to effect an escape.
I'm not too sure that I would have stayed outside of the pod, Joe. I don't really want to reveal any secrets here, but it's something that I I feel that to have your president available,
right?
In the escape pod, which I would have been safe.
Yeah.
I probably would have needed a companion.
Yeah.
Someone to help me fly the vehicle.
Yeah.
To establish some sort of contact.
Sure.
With this person or with the people back on the ground.
Right. So therefore, you've answered my question, sir. You would have gotten in the pod. I
think that's what the American people would have wanted.
Well, of course, because they wish to protect the presidency, obviously, and you don't really personally have any flying experience that we're aware of.
No, I actually don't. I remember at a county fair in Arkansas, I did go up in a hot air balloon, and but that wasn't.
I
navigated that for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. No.
And you're a hunter. You've hunted. But you're not familiar with...
I'm a hunter, and I think you know what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Hey, close that door.
Boy, you're really having a busy afternoon.
It's crazy here, Joe. It's almost dinner time, and...
Whoa.
I just dropped my
Very
glass.
sorry there.
Hey, Mike, could you grab me another one of those, please?
Yeah.
The big mugs. The big one. Thank you.
Now, what do you have in the White House? Is Air Force One that neat, sir, by the way?
Air Force One is unbelievable. Now, I remember when you had Hilary on several months ago. I think it may have even been last year.
Right.
I remember when you had her on, and you were talking about garages and me having a Heineken out in the back,
right,
by the garage. And we do not have a garage.
No, but you've got this thing.
We have this thing, and this thing is fantastic.
Sometimes you just go over there and sit in it, don't you?
Yeah, and that's what I want. I would like to invite you next time I'm in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite you onto this, aircraft.
I'd be thrilled.
It's unbelievable, and that's kind of why I call you every once in a while,
right,
or why you call me, and I agree to do this because I know I've heard from other sources that you're not my biggest fan, but you respect the office of the president, and you have a little fun with me, and I think I'm having fun with you right now.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Really do.
And I would be thrilled to take you up on that offer, sir.
Excuse me?
That was on your end, sir. You must have your window open.
I do. Mike, could you please close the window?
Yeah. Because we were hearing some people from the outside. But this movie, sir, was not the first. You had Independence Day, in which I understand you took a great liking to. And again, in that film, the president ends up flying rather heroically in a combat mission of sorts.
Yes, but I'm not big. I'm not a combat guy. I don't.
No.
I've never pretended to be any guy that is has ever been in any combat. In fact, I run from combat, Joe.
Yeah.
I would be like remember Platoon? Do you remember the movie?
I do.
I would be the guy that pulled the dead guy on top of him and faked dead. Mike, could you open this window, please? There's some people outside that just wanted to say hi. I need to say hi to outside.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Hello.
They love me out here, Joe.
Yeah, they do.
Is this more on number one? Put more on number two on the phone.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here, still here, Mr. President.
I heard moron.
And then there was the film. Then there was the film American President, in which the president, not you, of course, but the president is portrayed as a bachelor who falls in love with a. Pardon me?
Mike, why the hell is there a dog in here?
Sir, you seem very distracted.
I'm the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And there's a dog in here.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Sir, just one more thing. There's a movie, the movie American President. Now, Michael Douglas played the president in that role. And in that,
lucky man with Annette Bening.
Well, I was going to say, now in that one, could you identify with that? Of course, I doubt it, because that president was a bachelor who has a love affair with Annette Bening, so there was nothing there for you to personally identify with, was there?
Well, let me tell you this, Joe. I remember that movie, and I really did enjoy watching that movie.
Yeah.
And the freedom he had.
Huh?
He had so much freedom. He had a lot of freedom. And any time you can have, I think, if I remember correctly, Annette Bening was a press. Was she in the press? I forget.
I think she was a writer, yeah.
And let me tell you this.
I just remember her wearing one of your shirts. Not you, of course, but the president's shirts.
Like an oversized
white dress shirt.
that many times. in my mind, not on the TV. And it was crazy. But let me tell you this, Joe. We're out here in the nation's capital.
Yes,
and,
you are. That's where we reached you today.
All the women of the press out here, they look like one of those Heaven's Gate people. None of those people look like an thing. I'll
No,
tell
they
you that.
don't, do they?
'Cause I would have.
You would have noticed.
Yeah, I would have probably noticed.
Yeah.
But like I said, Michael Douglas, he would. I would love to be a bachelor.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean to take anything away from my family. I love my family.
No, you
but
do.
it would be fun to be the president of the United States and to play the field, if you know what I mean.
I think I do because.
But I don't because I'm married. I'm happily married in Chelsea.
As was the president as portrayed by Harrison Ford.
Yes, that is correct.
He stayed behind because he didn't want to leave his family on Air Force One.
Now this is where I have the dilemma.
Yeah.
Because I have Hillary and Chelsea and myself.
Right.
And I couldn't save all three of us.
No, after all, you are the president.
And so there's a little. The office is. I mean, this is a high office. This is the highest in the United States.
Well, it is. Maybe in the world.
And it's tough. And I think the needs of the president need to be taken care of before the needs of the first family.
Right.
So possibly choosing between Hillary and
the pod,
between and Chelsea, and bringing one of them into the pod. I would just say, why don't you both stay up here and kind of fight it out, and why don't you send down one of those stewardesses who could show me how to work this thing? That's probably that's. If you want my honest answer,
that's very. You're being very, very candid with us because
there's no press here. There's no Helen Thomas and Ann Compton and all these people that just hound me.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's difficult to be the president.
Yeah. Now, when they make a film like that and you like it, do they just give you your own copy of it?
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, we have to pay for everything. We don't get, the free, because otherwise that would be a gift, and then we get into trouble with the DNC and all these other people. So we actually have to pay. We get it at cost, but we do have to pay for it. So we put out $9.99 or something like that at Target. I forget.
Well, I certainly appreciate your taking this time. I realize it's the happy hour there.
Yes, it is. And there, I wanted to show you again that these people out here absolutely. Let me just open this door here.
Yeah.
Show you these people.
They do love you.
There's a big crowd. We got a little parade going in D.C.
Right, it's D.C.
And, you won't even realize how much these people love me.
Right.
They love Air Force One. They love Harrison Ford. And I just want all you people to stick with me. We got one more, then we'll turn it over to Al Gore. So, Joe, listen.
Thank you, sir.
I got to close this door and just get the heck out of here.
Thank you very much, sir. GL Joe here. When you go to pick out a new garage door opener business, check their online reviews. My personal pick is the family-owned GLers Precision Garage Door of the Twin Cities. 5-star Google ratings are common, and they get great comments from customers. Here's one to share. My door broke Sunday night, and I called, and they set up an appointment early Monday morning. Every step in the process was easy and professional. They sent emails to confirm and a picture of our Minnesota Tech Mike before he arrived. He was on time. He fixed the door in under an hour, and I will always recommend Precision Garage Door. That's Mike in Hopkins. Look, these people guarantee every job they do, and they aren't satisfied until you are. They're my buddies from Precision Garage Doors, serving the metro and western Wisconsin. Make sure you let them know you appreciate a GL-owned business. Precision Garage Door, they're my people. They fix garage doors correctly. Get help online immediately at precisiondoormn.com, or you can call them directly at 612-263-6985.
Since 1985, Air Mechanical has served the Twin Cities for their heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. They can also help you with drain cleaning, duct cleaning, and indoor air quality, serving the entire metro area. From general maintenance to full install, they got you. Furnace installs, boilers, heat pumps, garage heaters, and more. Air Mechanical employs top-trained tradespeople in the state of Minnesota. They operate with full integrity. They do things the right way, not the easy way. And their Total Solutions membership is like having Air Mechanical on retainer. Keep all of your home maintenance needs in one comprehensive comprehensive membership. Select one tune-up a year and enjoy benefits like discounted maintenance, repairs, service, and equipment costs. Catch problems before they arise and keep your home's mechanicals running smoothly. We'd love it if you gave Air Mechanical a shout-out for any heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical needs. Call or book online at thinkami.com. That's thinkami.com.
It's the end of the world as we know it, but he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Here in the John Height newsroom is Chris Reavers.
Thank you, Joe. This report brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. The University of Minnesota Golden Gophers beat Florida State last night in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Head coach Richard Pitino did his best Clem Haskins impression last night in the second half.
1-on-2. Matthew in, got shot blocked. Rebound put back, no. Back tap to Miller. And then he had a high dribble, no call. Lobs it up and a dunk the other way to White.
Patino just rips off his jacket and throws it at the assistant coaches. Haven't seen a jacket throw since St. Joe's?
Yeah, with Phil Martelli.
Wow.
Whipped the coat.
Out of joy or anger?
Oh, out of complete anger. I don't know how much of the game.
On the back tap.
Sorry, I don't know.
I couldn't find ESPNU. I don't know where it is.
It's 208 if you have DirecTV.
I don't have DirecTV. It's okay. I don't need to find it.
All right. Andre Hellens led the way for the Gophers, scoring 21 points on only 3 of 13 from the field. He was 12 of 16 from the line. Up next for the Maroon and Gold, another home date this Saturday at 2 p.m. against New Orleans. It was a long game. At about 10:40 last night, I said, I'm going to bed. Mm-hmm. I can't watch any more of this. There was a lot of whistles in that game. The George W. Bush Presidential Center has joined the holiday festivities, offering for sale a Christmas tree ornament that features a painting by the former U.S. head of state. The ornament, selling for $29.98, is an unsigned Bush painting of a cardinal on a tree branch in a metal frame, with a ribbon attached to it so it can be hung from a Christmas tree. Bush has taken up painting in his retirement.
Ding, ding.
Wow.
I want to make a portrait of Osama bin Laden when he was a youth in Iraqistan. Is that where he was?
It's one of the stands.
Yeah. Stan.
He also...
Stan, is that his middle name?
I find it very interesting that when the heat got on, you dug yourself a hole.
Big one. Big hole in Iraqistan, big enough to hide massive destruction things. What do I call them?
That guy's an American hater.
Yeah. Weapons of mass destruction. That was it.
Yeah.
WMDs.
The former president has also taken up painting still lifes, self-portraits, and images of animals.
I like to finger paint. It's I find maps on the Google that don't have filters, and I finger paint the country.
Human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
That's right.
The West Coast is easy. It's like a squiggly line.
Uh-huh.
His wife thought...
Where do you paint, sir?
In a padded room. They let me out for lunch.
One of the things I've used on the Google is to pull up maps.
Yes.
Sure.
Helps me.
If you'd like to see those paintings, they are available on the Garage Logic page.
Ding, ding.
I knew it was going to be tough for me to get through that one, so I apologize.
I miss him, though.
Oh, come on. Please. Absolutely. Entombed at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean in an upended tugboat and dressed only in boxer shorts, Harrison Okine begged God for a miracle. A video of the Nigerian cook's rescue after 60 hours trapped in an air pocket was posted on the internet this week, more than 6 months after his rescue, and has now since gone viral. As the temperature dropped to freezing, he recited the last psalm his wife had sent by text message, sometimes called the prayer for deliverance. "Oh God, by your name, save me," he said. To this day, he believes his rescue in May is a sign of divine deliverance. The other 11 men aboard the boat passed away in.
Boy, when your time's not up, it's not up, is it?
Well, here's my question, if I may.
Yeah.
How is the video just surfaced now?
I don't know.
This happened, 6 months ago, it said?
Well, where was this? Nigeria? Or Ethiopia?
So it was over there.
The problem was he dropped the video as he was going up, so he had to go back down to get it, and he wasn't really willing to do that right away.
Not a Garage Logic Town Council member? Here's what you're missing.
Joe, do you know what he's referencing?
No.
DeLorean didn't
Back to the Future.
fare well.
Wow, good for you. Probably because it's only the 160th time he's made the reference.
Leah Thompson, Minnesota's own. Leah Thompson.
She was a cutie pie in that movie.
Cutie pie?
Mm-hmm. Cutie pie.
We have a lot of female listeners who were worried about me. Thank you, town council people.
Well, there was a lot of people that emailed in that were worried about you.
Nothing to worry about.
I had emails just to me, to people, to make sure Joe gets to see a doctor.
Well, he did. Joe went to the doctor.
Couple of gals got a hold of me and just wanted to make sure that I was okay.
Go behind the scenes of Garage Logic with unfiltered audio and video access, invites to exclusive events, an emailed newsletter from the mayor himself, and more by signing up at GarageLogic.com.
The week of the 4th of July surely is always festive. It's always festive. It's when you kind of go sit around and just say, hey, you know what? Life is pretty good. And when life is good, what do? You're happy. You want to outpour that joy. You might want to even be philanthropic. Yeah, that's the word of the day here, the word of the week. And MinnesotaMasonicCharities.org, online at MNMasonicCharities.org, catchy. In 2006, some of the bigwigs came together and they said, let's pool everything and let's do scholarships. Let's help the needy. Let's help the old. Let's help the young. They're doing just that. And sometimes, there's a wink and a nudge and the secret handshake. And they want the garage logicians and everybody to know that they're not really secrecy. It's not a bunch of secrets. They're telling everybody, we have got scholarships for people that need it. We have got a wonderful operation that they want to tell everybody about. So if you want to contact them and you have some questions about the secret handshake, you can call them 952-948-6200. But better yet, why don't you check out their website? That's MNMasonicCharities.org. Learn more about the Masons and how giving they are. Yep. Oh, yeah. What's the big word? Philanthropic. And let them know you heard it on the Garage Logic podcast. MNMasonicCharities.org.
A big part of our life, Joe, is eating.
Oh, yeah. A big part of your life.
Well, a big part of our life is also how we hold our plate. And we call that, sir?
Heap management. I got two uncles. Very serious. Well, my Uncle Jimmy and my Uncle Paul. I would like to act in the role of your trainer.
Okay.
I'd like to put you in an eating concert against those two. Because I have never seen plates piled as high as Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Paul can pile a plate. There is no... It's beyond plate management.
Not even plate management?
They're beyond plate management. We're called heaping management. And I have never seen
gross,
such
total gross
it's
weight.
A GW, a gross weight thing. It's GW 7,000. And a lot of guys practice plate management. This is a vertical heap management. So when they're walking, it's a very practiced, steady pace, because what they've got is top-heavy heap. See, plate management.
If you start going this way, plus you have to be able to walk, straight.
If they start to lean, it's over.
Yeah.
Whereas plate management, you see waiters practice plate management all the time. They got 7 plates in their hands and they can spin around and go through a door. That's nothing. That's plate management. Heap management is to get the pile to a place without spilling anything, and that's an incredible thing to see. Now, I would like to put you up against Jimmy and Paul in an eating event, for which I would charge an admission. And you would have the big bib on, and Jimmy and Paul have the bib on, and go into an eating ritual. I'm going to take you in this, by the way. And I've seen these two, and I'm taking you.
I'm intrigued.
I would take you because
I can put away a lot, and I can pile up a lot.
Do you practice heap management?
Well, what I do here is you can't put turkey. When you load up on the turkey, you don't put it all on one side.
And again,
I must
stop right now. I again need to reassure the great patriotic citizens of Gumption County that when you talk about this, the gleam in your eye is real. The joy you have is real. This is something you're fond of. All right, now continue.
There's no silly, fun rookie. Hey,
this is not funny with you.
No, it's not. This is a legitimate deal where it comes Thanksgiving once a year.
Right.
as we all know.
So,
And
do you heap or plate management?
I heap.
You're a heap.
I didn't know I was a heaper. I'm glad
You're a heaper.
Turn the light on for me, because I thought it was just plate management for me. But you're right. It's not plate management.
Here's when you practice plate management. You practice plate management at a wedding or at somebody's house you don't really know that
Where
well.
you have to be...
Where you're kind of watching yourself. You're on your
Right.
best behavior. When you're with a family, in a family environment, at an Easter, a Thanksgiving, or a Christmas, it's heapology.
And more than that.
It has nothing to do with management. It's heapology.
You're right.
So you'll heap tomorrow.
Oh, 100%.
Can you get it all on one plate? Or are you a two-plate heap?
I can.
I don't want you to talk to callers
Yeah?
right now. I want you to talk to me.
Is this Paul?
Which Paul?
Oh, John? Hang on.
Which John?
Your brother, John.
Just a minute. Johnny.
Yeah.
I would put him up against Paul and Jimmy.
Now, see, you're missing a very critical factor here.
What?
Rookie might be able to go one-on-one with him once,
Yeah.
but Paul and Jimmy
Yeah.
are going to go back maybe two, or at least two, maybe three times.
That's a good... Johnny, that's a good point.
Not going to be able to keep up with
That's a good point. And each time, there is no reduction in the heap, is there?
No, absolutely
I'm out of
not.
my league
And
then.
here's another critical factor.
Yep.
Jimmy and Paul, there's a fighting chance that throughout the afternoon they might have had a cocktail or two,
Right.
a few beers.
Right.
So I mean, and of course anything that would resemble an hors d'oeuvre. So I mean, they come prepared.
Johnny?
Yeah.
What role does the nap play?
The nap is almost instantaneous with dinner, and it coincides with any kind of cleanup that has to be done.
That's exactly right. But you know, Johnny, you've saved me some money because I was going to go with my young man here.
Oh no!
But he doesn't have repeat. He doesn't have repeat qualities now.
I feel sorry for you right now.
Yeah.
Because you really misread this situation.
Yeah, but
Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
You're right on, because you know what? If I went back, I'd grab a little bit of stuffing and a couple of slices of
this
turkey.
is repeat heaping. This is repeat heaping.
I'm out.
Full-blown dinner again.
Again, a complete.
It's not just I'll have a couple slices of turkey.
No, this is
That's
the whole
another
thing.
FM.
It's
So they'd be going
two
quadruple
FMs
F.
inside 30 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm way out.
You got to go back to the nap for a minute.
Yeah.
Nap.
Because while everybody else is frenetically cleaning up and, storing away pots that are used once a year,
Right.
these two are asleep,
Right.
waking up in time to start drinking and ready for dessert. And that's another complete experience. It's not just a little piece of pie with a sliver of whipped cream.
No,
on
it's the
top.
whole deal, isn't it?
It's the whole thing, back and forth. And then while they're done, they might, 9:30, everybody else is long gone. They might say, is there one cold beer left?
Of course.
So Rookie's got a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, you really did straighten me out on that.
Yeah.
And it just shows a young guy like this what he needs to strive for, doesn't it?
Oh. He's got many years to prepare.
Many, many years of practice before he would achieve this kind of status. Because you're absolutely right. I had some of that dynamic had slipped my mind, but you're absolutely right.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I'm not taking you. I'm out. I'm out of it because he pointed out you stand no chance. You're too young. You don't have enough practice. Your skills aren't ready. You just haven't done this enough.
No, I'd have to agree, and I'm not even insulted. I couldn't go back for that. I have a tough enough time going 2 FM, 2 full meals here at 2, and then 6 or 7:30 or whenever it is at the other. It just
I've seen these guys go 2 full heaps at the same dinner table, and maybe 3. In their younger days, they were 3 full heaps.
Oh man!
At the same dinner table.
Couldn't do it.
So
I bow to the champions.
I don't remember how this came up. Do you, Roy?
I don't either, Joe. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's Best of the Garage Logic podcast. That was obviously radio edition of the Best of GL, and a couple of my favorite segments that we included. In fact, the one I did include was from an emailer from a number of months ago asking if we could replay the Hillary interview, and I thought, let's have somewhat of a presidential theme on today's show. So I hope you enjoyed. And we will have another Best of Garage Logic for both tomorrow and Friday to round out the week in the mayor's absence. This is Reavers back in the GL Podcast Studios. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.